Are you looking for the best track saws of 2023? In this video we will look at some of the best track saws of 2023 on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Makita XPS01 Plunge Saw with Guide Rail. We love the precise, splinter-free cuts you can achieve with this corded track saw from Makita. It has the standard 6.5-inch blade and 12-amp motor, but also has variable speed control that you can set from 2000 RPM to 5200 RPM, turn it down slow when cutting through hardwoods or crank it up high when slicing through softer materials. Either way, you'll appreciate the tool's soft start function, which eases into the speed setting to make it easier for you to maintain control. Once at the full speed, the saw's electronic speed control keeps it steady even while cutting through boards. And with magnesium components, this track saw only weighs 9.7 pounds, making it easy to carry with you to a job site when desired. You can cut bevels with the saw from -1 to 48 degrees, and there are positive stops set at 22.5 degrees and 45 degrees, so it's very quick to set these common angles. We also appreciate the saw's bigger than average cutting abilities. You can make cuts as shallow as 1/16 inch or as deep as 2 3/16 inch when the saw is at 90 degrees or 1 9/16 inch with the saw at a 45-degree angle. Plus, it can cut as close as 11/16 inch to a wall or other edge, allowing you more versatility when cutting flooring, doors, and other large materials. One potential downside, however, is that the depth adjustment gauge only shows metric measurements, not imperial, so if you aren't fluent in metric, you'll need to do some minor calculations to set the depth. There's a swiveling, 1.5-inch dust port that can be connected to your shop vac to keep sawdust under control, a welcome feature, as these types of saws can create a lot of dust. A few buyers felt that the 7.9-foot electrical cord was a bit too short. Some other brands have cords that are 12 feet long, but that might not be an issue for you, depending on the size of materials you normally cut and the placement of electrical outlets in your workshop. The saw comes with a 55-inch guide rail. If you need longer rails, Makita sells a connector separately that lets you connect multiple rails together. You also get a sturdy plastic carrying case for the saw. At number 2. WEN CT1065 Plunge Cut Sidewinder Circular Track Saw. Track saws can be undeniably expensive. That's why we like the WEN CT1065. If you are trying to keep your budget under control and don't need a saw with the utmost in power or extra features, this is a fine plunge saw that does a great job of making accurate cuts across plyboard and similar materials. The saw has a 10-amp engine and a 6.5-inch blade. It does not have variable speed control. The maximum speed of the tool is 5,500 RPM. Nor does it have a soft start features. Still, customers for the most part felt that this is a fantastic entry-level saw for those who don't want to pay for bell and whistles they might not need. The saw can bevel up to 45 degrees and cut to a depth of 1 5/8 inches thick at that angle. When at a 90-degree angle, you can cut materials up to 2 1/3 inch thick, an impressive depth for such an inexpensive saw. A few buyers said the plastic control knobs felt flimsy, but the design of the tool does keep its weight to a reasonable 12 pounds. Its cord is only 6 feet long, which is definitely on the short side, so you'll want to consider the distance to electrical outlets before getting started on your projects. Note that this saw does not come with any guide rails, those must be purchased separately. However, even when you add the cost of the saw and the additional cost of the rails, it's still far less expensive than most other track saws on the market, and the majority of buyers are very pleased with its performance. At number 3. Festool TS55 FEQ-F-Plus-FS Plunge Cut Track Saw with Rails. While widely considered to be the top brand when it comes to track saws, Festool's products are not cheap. However, if you want a plunge saw that delivers the ultimate in precise, splinter-free cuts, is easy to adjust, and comes with a 6 1/4 inch thin kerf blade. Kerf refers to the width of the groove cut by a blade, and this beauty from Festool has a mere 1.8 mm kerf. That means not only does the blade create a more precise cut with less sawdust, it also means that the strain on the 10-amp motor is reduced, allowing the saw to cut faster and cleaner. And even when the blade is at an angle, its cutting edge remains in full contact with the material being cut, so your control and your results are unaffected. The variable speed control of the TS55 sets from 2000 RPM to 5800 RPM. It bevels from -1 to 47 degrees, with a maximum depth of 1 11/16 inch when at a 45-degree angle, and up to 2 1/8 inch at a 90-degree angle. The depth of cut adjusts in micromeasurements, so you can be as precise as you need. The design of the rail lets you cut as close as half an inch to a wall or other vertical surfaces. The 9.5-pound saw has a 13-foot power cord, allowing you more freedom to maneuver around your work table. And it comes with a 55-inch guide rail, a sturdy carrying box, and a dust port that can be connected to your shop vacuum. You can purchase other lengths of guide rail separately. At number 4. Makita XPS01 PTJ 36-volt brushless cordless track saw. This battery-powered plunge saw from Makita runs off two 18-volt batteries for a total of 36 volts of power, meaning that this is no weakling when it comes to slicing through plywood and other materials. While the manufacturer doesn't give an expected runtime for the batteries, many buyers specifically mentioned that even after multiple cuts, the battery charge was still at more than 50%. When the batteries do finally run down, it only takes around 45 minutes to recharge them. The saw has a 6.5-inch blade and variable speeds of 2,500 RPM to 6,300 RPM with a soft start that lets you ease into cutting. It also has Makita's automatic speed change technology, which automatically adjusts the saw's speed and torque to best suit the performance of the tool. You can even use this plunge saw to cut through aluminum, man-made countertop materials such as corian and melamine, but you'll need to swap out the blade for an optional, material-specific blade to do so. The track saw can bevel from -1 to 48 degrees and has positive stops at 22.5 degrees and 45 degrees. When at a 45-degree angle, its maximum depth of cut is 1 9/16 inch, and at 90 degrees it can cut up to 2 3/16 inch deep. However, some buyers were annoyed by the metric-only measurements on the depth lever. You can cut as close as 11/16 inch to the wall or other vertical surfaces, and you'll still get highly clean, precise cuts every time. You can make an initial scoring cut of as little as 2 mm, that's precision. On the downside, this is an expensive saw, considering that it does not come with a guide rail, which you'll have to purchase separately. Still, if you want a plunge saw that can go anywhere, is powerful and precise, and has great features, it's worth the extra expense. It comes with 2 batteries, a charger, and a case. At number 5. Kreg ACS2000 Adaptive Cutting System Track Saw. Kreg's ACS2000 is a powerful, 12-amp plunge saw that is designed to make supremely precise cuts without splintering, tearing, or chipping the edges of the material you are cutting. The 6.5-inch blade can bevel from -1 to 47 degrees, and can cut to a depth of 1.5 inch at a 45-degree angle and 2 1/8 inch at a 90-degree angle. The variable speed motor runs from 2,000 RPM to 6,000 RPM and compensates for load so you don't get annoying bogdown or undesired slowing. It has a riving knife and anti-kickback technology, as well, which minimize the chances of the saw kicking back towards you should it get stuck on a wood knot or other obstruction. The plunge saw comes with a 62-inch guide track, which is longer than most other brands supply with their track saws. Plus, you can purchase separate connectors and additional lengths of guide rail to go even longer if desired. The guide rails have anti-slip strips on the back that keep them in place without the need for clamps. That makes this saw ideal for cutting very large boards, doors, or pieces of plywood down to size. It also includes a carrying bag for toting the 18-pound saw and track to your worksite, and a dust collection bag, which most brands leave out. While a few buyers did complain that the saw was hard to set up or hard to adjust, most praised its power, precision, and performance. At number 6. Evolution R185 CCSX Multi-Material Track Saw Kit. Most track saws are designed to only cut wood, and require a change of blades to cut other materials if that's even advised by the manufacturer. But not the Evolution R185 CCSX, this multi-material track saw can muscle through not only even wood studded with nails but also composite materials, laminates, plastics, and metals both magnetic and non-magnetic. All without a change of blade, because the included 7.25-inch blade can smoothly and cleanly chew through any of those materials without leaving splinters or rough edges. That makes it a very versatile addition to any DIYer's workshop. It bevels from 0 to 45 degrees and has a 1 13/16 inch cutting depth at 45 degrees and a 2.5 inch cutting depth at 90 degrees. However, note that this is more of a circular saw that can run on a track. It is not a pure track saw with plunge ability. The saw has a powerful 15 amp motor with lots of torque, so it won't bog down when cutting through metal or other hard materials. However, it does not have variable speeds, but just a maximum speed of 3,700 RPM. It has comfortable easy grip handles for better control, and you can hook it to your shop vacuum to keep the dust under control. The saw comes with 3 short pieces of track, along with connectors, for a maximum guide rail length of 40 inches. You can purchase more tracks separately if desired. Considering the reasonable price of this saw, it's a bargain even after purchasing an extra track.